everyone. Welcome to Brother, Sister, Whatever. I'm Lisa.
I'm Josh.
Do you remember those endless summers as a kid? You know, popsicles, sprinklers, no bills.
From Kool-Aid to cold brew, from cannonballs to back pain.
Yep, pretty much. Let's start with our weekly what if, okay, Josh? So, would you survive being a kid again in like a 90s summer? So, no phones, no AC, just, you know, bikes, mosquitoes, and like some random slip and slide.
I think so.
I loved summers like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think as an adult, we kind of realized we took it for granted.
Absolutely.
In many ways. I don't know how many eye rolls I made when someone would say like, oh, you grow up fast, or blah blah blah. You know, I'm like, yeah, you know, or whatever. But it's so true.
Yeah. What's the expression? Youth is wasted on the young.
Hmm.
You think, but as a kid, you think adults have it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
true.
It's not. We have it all in terms of bills, and you know, work schedules and stuff like that. But no, the fun is the first to go.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Fun is the first to go. I loved like the summers that we spent like in PEI.
Yeah, me too.
So like I remember the summers like when we were at home and stuff. It was still fun. We always got to be outside and like do things, and it was different back then. Well, we had to. We didn't have a TV or.
We'd get in trouble if
like
we
that.
were inside.
Yeah, like mom would actually like kick us out, wouldn't she?
Yeah, or else we'd have to do chores. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, we're going out.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that vibe of like just being out and like just being bored outside if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Or if we didn't have anything to do. But like the summers in PEI were like really fun.
Yeah, well, on the farm.
Yeah.
And
like as we got older, we got to go to like the beach with friends and stuff like
that.
Yeah, you know,
it
like
got
it was
more lenient.
Mm-hmm. But like riding on the tractor when they were like doing the fields of potatoes and stuff, that was fun. Yeah.
Strawberry picking.
Even that, strawberry picking. But even those things, like it seems like, oh yeah, you got to do, you know, potato fielding, like whatever. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was different. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah, we came from the city.
Yes.
I mean, you know, West Island.
Yes.
But we came from the city
to
that.
Us there.
Yeah.
Like mom and dad weren't with us.
Mm-hmm. We even had
there
money.
was a bit of freedom. Yeah.
Mom and dad would give us money so we could like.
I know.
Do our own thing.
It's so fun. It's kind of makes me sad when I think that my kids won't be able to have that. And do you remember Candy?
Yes.
Terrified.
Candy.
The big. Was it a Doberman?
I think it was a Rottweiler.
Oh my God! Scared the shit out of me. I hated leaving the house.
I loved that dog. Even though,
yeah, no shit, you loved that dog.
Even though I got nipped in the face.
Oh, did you?
I
don't remember that.
Yeah.
What was the ultimate summer day for you as a kid? Like, if you could think of like your perfect day. For me, it was definitely reading.
Mm-hmm.
Having something cold like a popsicle or an ice cream. Maybe like going out, like we used to do bike rides a lot, like as a family and stuff like that, or like going to the mountains, to the park or Beaver Lake or stuff like that. I remember those days. Those were like, when I think of that as like epic summer, like.
Me, I think it'd probably have to be hockey and football with friends. I remember I was in a street hockey league. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yes, I remember you playing street hockey all the time in the front of the house.
Yeah. You know, I just loved sports. Don't know what happened, but...
Yeah.
Every so often now, I pass by one of the basketball courts, and I'm like, I should buy a basketball, you know, and just go do some cardio.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I remember, like, baseball games... Dad being like an assistant coach or a coach or something.
For T-ball, my T-ball league.
T-ball, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would go all the time. Like, I had no choice. But whatevs. I think I had oh, that's what it was.
Anthony.
I went
Anthony.
because I had a crush on one of the players' older brother.
His name was Anthony.
Maybe.
He was the oldest person on the league. He was older.
Maybe.
And yeah.
But that's why I went. It's coming back to me now. It's like, they made me. And I'm like, no, wait, they didn't make me because I felt like I enjoyed going. Why did I enjoy going? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Crushes. Oh, the joy. Summer sleepovers. We never had sleepovers. We weren't allowed to have sleepovers. No, that's not true. I lie. When I was younger, you were very young, like under 5.
Okay.
And we were still Jehovah's Witnesses. There were a couple of girls that we were allowed to have sleepovers at each other's house. That's true. But it was only them. Like mom specifically, I feel like was a little bit more like reserved, like didn't trust a lot of people.
Yeah.
She always wanted to like make sure we were safe and stuff. So
yeah,
it was very rare.
I think nowadays I'm too trusting. You know, I kind of overjudged someone who was like, "Oh, I don't want so and so to sleep over because of like Jet."
Okay.
And I was like, so like,
because he's a boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was so like, like what the hell, But you know what? I remember I was so judgmental about that, but then I started looking online. Like, there's a lot of like shitty things that happen where these kids think, or everyone thinks it's all copacetic, and then like 20 years later, you hear that like, they're fucking still in therapy because they were molested or this or that. So it's messed up, Like now I'm a little bit more reserved, I have to admit.
You didn't have a lot of sleepovers, eh?
Not that from what I could remember.
No.
Yeah. I had a lot of friends, but sleepover wasn't really I think it was a lot more of like a girl thing.
I agree.
I think boys went out, played, and then came home.
Yeah.
And like girls was all about like, let's sleep over, let's like do our hair or
yes, nails or whatever, makeup.
Yeah, so I don't think it was a lot
That's
more.
true.
We'd stay out late, play hockey, like until we could barely see the ball. Like you could barely see the ball. I remember, I don't know if I'm just so like grouchy, but like I don't want fucking sleepovers.
Oh well, no, that's a whole other issue too. But yes, that's why Mom didn't let us have people over.
Ugh.
She's like, I have enough to do with the two of you.
Yeah, like when Fallon has some of her friends over, oh my god,
it's a lot, eh?
I mean, the screaming, and it's just like, oh my god, oh my gosh. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, no, not this time, please, just no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like when Fallon has a sleepover, like you don't understand. Fallon is so posh, so like Fallon will have like not one friend, it's like 5 of them, and they will all want, their makeup done, and they all want, this and that, and so, and then of course one is left out, and then that one's crying, and then you're there like, what's going on? Well, no, everyone has to, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted, and I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted and I'm not doing anything. I don't know how their mother does it, and I don't know how, like, no.
Yeah, you have to have a certain kind of, a certain level of patience and resilience to make it through things like that.
I don't know if it's because I'm sick right now, too, that I'm like, ugh, but like, I can't, no.
So when did summer stop feeling like freedom and start feeling like logistics? Well, hands down when you have kids.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, listen, I'm going to defer to you because I had my first kid at 21.
Right.
So I didn't really have too many years of like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I can't compare to that, but I would say probably when summer stopped being fun
Yeah.
was summer school. You know, like now everything I know now
Okay.
about me,
Yeah.
I realize that I have certain learning disabilities.
Okay.
And so, you know, the way I compensated was by being, you know, the class clown, the idiot, the, you know, troublemaker, etc. in school.
Take attention away from that thing and put it here. Yeah.
Right, you know. And so because of that, you know, every year was you gotta go to summer. You failed. And so every year it was summer school. So like, and you know, as a kid, because it's like what summer school is like a month,
Yeah.
or like, you know. So I mean, you still had, you know, a month of nothing, right? But like to you, that was
end.
like the end,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like that was a big thing for me, you know, where I was kind of like, you know, summer's not fun anymore.
It's true. I forgot about that. I had to do summer school one summer, but I opted out. I was just like, fuck it. I'll do like, I moved on to grade 10 and I'll just do the grade 9 math.
Oh, shit.
I was like, I'm not doing summer school.
I would have done that option if I could.
Yeah.
But
what about like as an adult? Like when did summers, because you, like I said, I kind of had a kid pretty early. So my summers, I felt adulting, like I was adulting even like younger than normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most people have their 20s to like, you know, be child free and like do fun things still, even while adulting. So when was it for you that it stopped being fun?
I don't know if fun is the right word.
Okay, so what would the word be then that you would use?
I don't know. I stopped being stupid.
Okay.
It was after New Year's. I know that's not summer, but it was every year of just getting drunk, doing crazy things, no care in the world, drugs, you know, all the way up until Saiku.
Okay.
So it was
late
around
2000s.
late? Is
Like
it late? I think it was like
mid. Okay, so like 2005-ish.
Yeah, because I've been doing dog training for 20 years. I started dog training when Saiku. So yeah.
So that would be okay. So that would be it.
It might be just under 20 years, but okay. Yeah. So I would say around then. That's when I started realizing, like, hey, fuck, like, you know, like, I need to.
Gotta change some things.
I remember that summer. I think 3 times I woke up in the middle of nowhere, had no idea where I was. My pants were down. No, I'm kidding. No, but I woke up like in like a ditch, or you know, just head first into the grass. You know, like I wake up, I'm like, whoa, fuck up, you know, like what the fuck, you know, and and it was that leading to a really, really bad New Year's. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really bad New Year's, and then it's like a switch. I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to live like this anymore.
Interesting.
And then that's literally when everything changed. Started
being adulting more and like...
Yeah, no, relationship-wise.
Wow, okay, I'm trying to like put all the... Yeah.
Relationship-wise, there's only like 4.
Oh.
Doesn't sound like I had 30.
I should probably not say mine. All right, moving on. Question for you. And then we'll move on to this or that. Would you trade one perfect childhood summer, so think of our best summer as kids, for one adult summer with a nanny, a chef, and no work?
So basically a paid vacation.
Yeah. Would you switch it? Would you give up that really cool kids summer if you could have a summer with a nanny, a chef, and no work?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No regrets.
Because the kids would still be there. A nanny, a chef, and no work. Okay, I guess that means that somebody would feed me, take care of my kids, and I wouldn't have to work.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'd want to do it. What about you?
No way.
No, eh?
No. There's very little I regret.
Okay, let's do some this or that, okay, Josh?
All right.
Okay, so I'll start off. Freezy pops or fancy cocktails?
Fancy cocktails. Lemonade or iced coffee?
Iced coffee. Fireworks or fireflies?
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
Oh, well, summer job or summer school?
Summer job. Rather make some money. Money. Bike rides or road trips?
Road trips. Sunburn or mosquito bites?
I'm going to take mosquito bites.
Fair.
Sunburns are not fun.
No.
I've had enough of those. A pool float or a pool noodle?
A pool noodle.
Yeah?
Yeah. Board games or card games? I already know.
Ooh, board games.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, one more each. Let's see. Oh, Josh, water balloons or water guns?
I do like water balloons. Water balloons.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd go for guns. Okay.
Yeah, I would normally. Grilling or chilling?
Chilling.
Obviously.
James is the griller.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, shit. Well, listen. Summers then versus now. I feel like we have a lot more responsibilities, a lot less fun, but yet at the same time, nothing that can't be fixed with a nice glass of rosé, sitting in the backyard, just chilling.
And the difference is that when we want, we can create our fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? That's the power of being an adult.
Yeah.
You know? So,
that's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Words of wisdom from Tao disciple Josh. All right. Well, we want to know, what's one summer thing that you did as a kid that you would love to do again now as an adult? Or one thing that you would like to get rid of and never do again? So feel free to comment on Insta, Facebook, YouTube. We're available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get your podcasts. So like, subscribe.
We're just so popular that we had to get on all the platforms.
Yes.
Because people are just dying to see us.
Come on. Like, who wouldn't?
That's it.
Okay. So have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.